This week on the Game Marks podcast, we attempt to rescue Stephanie McMahon as we test our skills in WWF Betrayal. Our deep dive breaks down all there is to know about this Game Boy Color side-scrolling adventure and the burning question, will we play it forever or future endeavor? Plug in, put on those nostalgia goggles, because this week's Game Marks podcast starts now.
And now, the Game Marks!
Welcome to the Game Marks podcast. My name is Johnny Clash.
And I'm George Feast, and this week we are playing WWF Betrayal for the Game Boy Color.
And as always, we love to hear from you guys, so please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and make sure to subscribe and rate this podcast wherever you choose to listen, and join the conversation on social media at Game Marks Pod. George.
John. What up? What's up, man? How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you? I mean, the world's a little weird at the moment, but
I know,
hey,
a little 28 days later situation going on
if
here.
we could bring you a little bit of joy on a Monday morning, here we are, our bright, smiling faces for you.
This will be your hour to your moment of zen, if you will. Kind of plug in, put your headphones in, stay in your car a little bit longer, going a couple minutes late to work, and just kind of hang out and forget about all the craziness that's happening into the world right now.
Or grab your Game Boy Color and play WWF Betrayal.
Or throw in your PlayStation 2 disc of SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, because that's what we played last week. We had our very special guest, best friend of the show, Bear Bronson. Always a pleasure. How are you feeling about it?
Okay, honest question. I left my game disc in your PlayStation. Have you played it since?
Yes.
Okay.
I have. Yes,
I know when there's like that gap in our conversation, I'm like, oh, mother, he's giving
at least you can know that it's in a good home for the time being. Obviously, I'm going to return it to you, but until the next time I see you, yes, a good smoke-free home. It is being played. I take very good care of the CDs, so just know that it's being used and played, and it's getting its money's worth. And then once I'm done with season mode, I'll give it to you.
All right. But anyway, I think we get a little excited, a little rambunctious when we have a guest, especially like Bear Bronson, one of our good friends. We get a little
big energy on Bear Bronson.
Yeah, we get some big energy. We kind of forget some things, so I just want to go over. We kind of touched on the guardrails last week, but we didn't go into it. We didn't explain exactly what you can do, but you can jump up on the guardrails and run across them and dive off them, which is pretty cool. But the way that it happened for us was, I think it was the cell match. When you fall off the cell, you could land on the barricade, or you could just take a move and flip onto the barricade.
I actually think I fell off of the top of the cell, bounced, and landed on the guardrail, which was what made us do that. What the hell just happened?
It almost looks like you're diving headfirst into the crowd, and you're like, oh, you can go in the crowd in this game, but you can't. Which
was what we talked about last week when we said that whole sequence of being able to run on the guardrail is inspired by Jeff Hardy, who's not even in the game.
Right. Another thing was the backstage areas. We explained that they were there. We explained a certain amount, like how the referee just falls from the sky in in the loading dock.
Yes.
Which actually any wrestler can. It's just like the cell. There's no barrier. You don't do that little whoa motion. You just go right off.
Yeah, it's just wherever your character drops into the map.
But it's very interactive. The whole backstage is interactive. You could drive a forklift. You could take a motorcycle and mow down your opponent. You could take you could throw them into a toilet and put them on the seat, close the door. You can put them in a burning shower. I mean, it's endless. This is
jump off the top of the box trucks or the 18-wheelers, the trailers.
Yeah, when talking about this part, we really didn't do justice with what you can actually do in this game. And I mentioned, you can go to WWF New York as a joke because I believe that was in SmackDown 2.
Yes.
That place didn't exist, I don't think, at this point. Or if it did, it was on its way out.
I think we to be completely honest, I really think that we forgot about this because I looked at the roster and I was just like, oh, I forgot that we have to read all these names. And was just like, well, let's get this over with. Let's just jump down to the roster. So I will take the blame for that. That is most likely my fault.
No, but I mean, that's why we, that's why we throw this back. The Chamber. Let's talk about the Chamber for a second.
Yes.
I'm going to pull up a picture.
Very, very timely, just coming off of that pay-per-view.
So this is one of the main selling points for me. I didn't know how they were going to do it. Oh my God, you could have 6 guys in the ring. What? But, I mean, it was done really well. The same physics as the actual cage. But one of the features, it's so small, but it's something I loved. When you're outside the ring, you're on the same level now as the ring. So you're not on the apron, you're not on the floor. You can actually whip the guy, you could whip them back towards the ring, and they could spring off that way too.
And then they spring off the ropes and they spring back into the cage.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. And also the aspect where you could climb up on top of the cage and dive off, where you could break the glass like we saw Otis do last weekend, but this time it actually shatters. I mean, everything from the light above animation saying who's coming out next, it was done really well.
Yeah, it was very, what's the word I'm looking for? True to, not true to scale, that's like a figure term, but, it was very realistic in terms of how they do it. Yeah, true to form, that's what I wanted.
Now,
very true to form. It's exactly what you expect to see on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view.
Now the next one. Braun panties.
I could have done without talking about this one.
They weren't fun.
It was just button mashing.
As much as you want them to be fun because they're hot, whatever, when it's 2002, whatever, 2001, and you're
that's all you
a little
got.
Teenager, yeah, and it's all you got. But like, when you get to these in like a story mode or something, you're like, damn it, like it's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
the animations are horrible. Like, is everyone's shirt just made out of a rubber band?
I was just never big fans of these styles of matches just because of like it. I don't know. It just felt. It didn't feel like a wrestling match, and like a wrestling game to play a wrestling match, and this was something weird, worse, different. I don't know.
Well, speaking of,
it had Cutie Suzuki vibes.
Yeah, but we posted that commercial with Brock Lesnar, and at the end, Tori Wilson comes in. You and me, Braun panties match, and then it shows the video package, whatever, and then it's him holding a bra, and he says, "I win," and the announcer goes, "No, Brock, we all win."
Yeah, that's couldn't get away with doing that today. That's for sure.
No.
Oh man.
Anyway, also last week we announced that our new contest has kicked off. All you need to do is leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Screenshot that review, either when you post it, before you post it. Just prove that it was you that sent it. Send it to us anywhere at GameMarksPod, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you want to email it, you could do that. And you're entered to win a WWE Cody Rhodes autograph. We already had quite a bit of submissions, and yeah, thank you. Keep them coming.
It's free to enter. It's the easiest contest you will ever partake in. You literally just have to do a review.
With a cool prize, even though I will say Cody Rhodes does not have a neck tattoo in this 8x10.
So now it's even more valuable.
It's vintage.
Yes.
It's even the old Scratch logo. It's not even the newer network style logo.
All right, John. This has been a very, very interesting week. We've already touched on some happenings of last week and wrap up. I think we get into what little gaming news there is this week.
All right, let's do it. Oh, Georgie, I bet this one excites you. According to a new report, Konami and PlayStation are currently working together to revive Hideo Kojima's canceled Silent Hills game. In addition to a Silent Hill reboot, at SII Japan Studio, PlayStation is reportedly trying to mend the relationship between Kojima and Konami following their fallout in 2015 in order to resurrect the project due to the massive amount of buzz and demand the game still carries to this day. That said, the report notes that unlike the Silent Hill reboot, the resurrection of Silent Hills, aka PT, isn't a done deal yet. However, presumably, it's not a matter of if, but when, given that PlayStation and Konami are reportedly already working on the aforementioned Silent Hill reboot together. To the sports section, 2K and the NFL have teamed up to create multiple new football games, the company has announced this week. This partnership was a surprise seeing how long it's been since 2K has released a football game of any kind. But it sounds like new games will start hitting the shelves in 2021, but they won't be straightforward football games like players are accustomed to from EA Sports. The partnership with EA remains intact as well, the publisher said, so don't expect Madden to go anywhere anytime soon. And that's all we have this week. Check back next week. So, George, this is something we've brought up multiple times, how we want the new NHL hits or the NFL Blitz games to come back. Seeing as this won't be a straightforward NFL like regular game, do you think we're going to see? Very exciting. Do you think we're going to see something like that? You think we're going to see some Tecmo Bowl? What are we seeing here?
I mean, I think the closest thing we got to Blitz within the last, decade, I think is probably Blitz the League, which was like a modern take on it. It's like, it's not so over the top like the wrestlers or the football players are, normal size football players. They're not like over dramatic or anything. But
I'm gonna cut you off here.
Okay.
You don't normally play Madden games, right?
I don't.
Okay, so this year there was a new mode called Superstar KO. It's essentially, I would say it's kind of like Blitz, I guess. But
it's
you
like
have
Blitz Light?
It's Blitz-like in the way that it's not a full game. You're in a superstar arena, and you basically have it's either 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. It's like unique where you could pick your players that you want on your team, and you go up against someone else live. So you pick like Odell Beckham's team, or you pick Snoop Dogg's team, something like that. And there's only like 8 teams to choose from. You could pick a playbook. It's a little different from like a regular Madden game. It's not that dramatic, I'd say.
But it's over exaggerated and stuff like that.
Yes. I could compare it to almost like a Def Jam Vendetta where there's like an announcer the whole time saying things and
okay.
You go back and forth to see who could, make the play, get the touchdown. Touchdown, it's over. Field goal, it continues. It's like an overtime. But I also don't think an entire game like that will sell well at all, unless it's kind of like, a $20 game you could buy in the App Store.
Play both. I want to play both sides of the fence here. So we're living in an age where everything is supposed to be hyper realistic, and you want, you play 2K20, you play some of the other newer titles that are coming out. We'll use Death Stranding as an example. The graphics in that game are unbelievable. It's hyper realistic. Do we want a Blitz game that's more cartoony, or would we want a Blitz game that's hyper realistic?
Okay, so devil's advocate. I'm going to say, for me personally, I like Madden. I never have a problem with it. I could look past the glitches and whatnot. I don't buy them every year. I buy them maybe every 3 years, I'd say, just because I like the updated roster of the team. Like the Giants. I like their updated roster. This year, I didn't.
NHL is the only game that you buy every year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
For the same reason. I'm the biggest hockey fan, and I want the updated roster. I want the new arenas, blah, blah, blah.
Look out for Kenny G and Johnny Clasher's new podcast called the NHL Marks.
But to say we need it, no. This is not me being this is not me being me right now. Do we need a Fire Pro? No, but we have it because it's an alternative. Do we need an AEW? No, it's an alternative. So why not have, something maybe kids will enjoy, something maybe the fan who's sick of Madden will enjoy, Something that maybe you could play a couple times and be like, oh, you know what? This is actually a lot of fun. Maybe I'll download it when I get home.
Something that the Madden fans can plug into and play something that's a little less serious. Because I know that play Madden online, things get really heated. People take it very seriously. And maybe this is something that, a little more lighthearted, a little easier in terms of, you lose the game, you're not going to smash your television or your controller or anything like that. Now, that being said, we do have to address the elephant in the room. It affects gaming fans all over, and that is E3. Now, E3 released a statement that said, after careful consideration with our member companies regarding health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, employees, and exhibitors, and longtime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020, scheduled for June 9th to the 11th in LA. And we've already seen the landscape of E3 change for 2020. And we've already seen multiple public hearings and events canceled as a result of what's going on in the world right now.
Leagues. We've seen entire leagues get put on hold.
Yeah. So, obviously, for the benefit of everyone's health, this makes a huge amount of sense. I do believe, though, I can't imagine that means that there's not going to be any news. I just think that, we'll have to wait for companies and developers to release it themselves. And
what boggles my mind is this is like the second week of June that this is already canceled for. I mean, maybe you could say they sold tickets and they want to stop, just take the ticket link off, Stop selling tickets to this thing and see what happens in a month. It's not like this is WrestleMania where it's happening in 4 weeks.
It's true.
This is June. I think this was kind of like a panic button. I don't think it needed to happen, but this is what we got.
Well, there's always a chance that they could do it like a digital version. They could host something on Twitch. I mean,
I guess
for the last,
kind of like
how many E3s have you gone to? Yeah, how many E3s have you gone to?
0.
Same here. I always get my information from either Kotaku or Game Informer or whatever major outlet, the E3 website itself. I always go online to find it, and I watch the presenters that I want to watch, and maybe this is just a different type of E3 this year, given the situation where they hold it, but it's more like something that they stream on Twitch, and it's from companies' offices and, different developers' headquarters. And I think there's a way that it could still work, but like you said, I think there was just a very harsh reaction to the current state of the world, and better safe than sorry.
Right. Everything happens for a reason, so hopefully this all blows over. It's not going to be soon, but soon. I'll say soon anyway. And everything goes back to normal. I think there's going to be a lot of video games played in people's houses within the next few weeks. So
yes, I 100% agree. I've already picked up a couple of games that I've been meaning to get more time on.
I planned on running through Last of Us again, Spider-Man, and Death Stranding, but now I'm stuck playing Call of Duty Warzone. So
yeah,
I will say it's the best Warzone I've played.
Borderlands 3 released on Steam on the 13th, so I will be completely consumed with that game for the next several weeks, probably months. But hey, on to more exciting and happy topics. It is now time for the question of the week.
Hey George, are you ready? I said, are you ready for our Pro Wrestling Tees store? Brace yourself, because the Game Marks podcast is now on ProWrestlingTees.com, featuring multiple designs designed by us. Head on over to ProWrestlingTees.com/GameMarksPod today to either play it forever or future endeavor.
So the question of the week is exactly what it sounds like. Each week, John and I go back and forth and ask each other questions, and then we like to present the question to you and get your answers, and you can share them with us at GameMarksPod. This week, it is my turn to ask the question, but before we do that, let's do a little recap from last week's question, where John asked, what is the game that you liked playing that you got the most hate for playing?
So I'm going to rapid fire some answers from last week. So, at Phil Cardigan, good friend of mine, Cap Wrestler, check him out, great promos. Zack Ryder's favorite wrestler.
I say Zack Ryder's favorite wrestler.
He posted WWF Raw for the Xbox. I 100% agree with this. First WWE Xbox game. Everyone wanted it. Everyone hated it. But at the same time, we loved it.
It's all that you had.
So, Justin Leeper says, Eternal Blue 2 for the PS2, Gallop Racer 2003 for the PS2, King's Bounty for the Genesis, and Space Griffin VF9 for the PS1, and Alpha Protocol, he says, played like Deus Ex meets Splinter Cell, and he ended up digging it. Now, that brings up Splinter Cell to me. I absolutely loved that game. But Alpha Protocol, I actually played that as well, and I thought it was fun.
What was the game that you mentioned that you liked more than GoldenEye?
Nightfire. Big Nightfire fan. Countless hours on the GameCube with my cousin playing Nightfire. We would only play the one, like the first map in the snow. We would only play Capture the Flag. We would put on like infinite bots. So it was just us two versus them trying to capture flags. It was awesome. Anyway, Will is ballin'. He says, Turning Point, Fall of Liberty, Captain America, Super Soldier, and Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Now, Mike Jones at Too Sweet, he says...
The Mike Jones?
The Mike Jones. He says, WWE Raw 2. Another game with so much promise. We just wanted that new game with Scott Steiner, with Goldberg. And this is what we got. It was almost there, but it was not there. I played through once like 6 months of the story mode, or whatever you want to call it, and my PlayStation...
Put some soft quotation marks around that.
Yeah, and my Xbox froze and I lost it all.
Oh no. Did it red ring?
No, it just froze. I remember I was in the middle of the Royal Rumble with my created wrestler, and it just froze.
Oh. Hate to see it happen.
At Jamater 2016 Star Fox Adventures for the GameCube. As it was clearly a Zelda wannabe, but I had such a blast playing it. Plus, he loves the Star Fox music.
I mean, Star Fox is one of those series that even the bad games are still pretty good. Like,
I can't say I've played them. I do remember the commercials for them saying
Star Fox 64 is
that
my
looks
jam.
fun, but no, never touched them.
All right, but like we said, this week it is my turn to ask the question. And John, the question I will be presenting to you is, tell me about a time. You know what?
Tell me why.
Let's do it this way. Tell me your best meeting a professional wrestler story where maybe you were in like you weren't backstage at a show.
Ooh, okay.
Like an unconventional place that you met a wrestler just like haphazardly, like you were at like a McDonald's or a 7-Eleven or something.
Okay, so I used to go to Universal Studios with my family, and I used to drag them to Impact tapings in like 2006 because I needed to see like Jeff Hardy and all that, and I did. Jeff Hardy came out, and then Raven attacked him on the ramp and took him backstage, and I saw Jeff Hardy for 30 seconds. After that show, my family, we jump in our rental car, we go to get some gas, and I look next to us, and who's in this old like Camry or Toyota Avalon or whatever it was. It's
Jeff Hardy?
Mike Tenay and Don West. Don West is sitting passenger seat with like looking at his phone, and Mike Tenay is pumping the gas. He just looks so like, oh, I'm glad that's over. He's got his bow tie like hanging around his neck, still in his tux. Like he didn't even change. He just got the hell out of there. So now I'm like, oh my God, it's the announcers. And my family's like, where? I don't think that's them. I'm like, no, that's them. Like, I know that's them. They're like, we didn't see them there. I'm like, yeah, because they're not ringside. It's TNA Impact. I don't know if I knocked on the glass or if I just got their attention somehow, but I was wearing like a TNA logo shirt with like an American flag in it. It was so cool. I missed that shirt. I might still have it. And I just kind of like held it up to them, like, yeah, look at my shirt. And Don West just gave me like a smile and a thumbs up, and Mike Tenay like just got in the car and they just left.
Huh.
Yeah, that's it. That's the story. I don't think other than that I've ever just ran into a wrestler. What about you?
Okay, so let me try to remember the year that my story happens. I think it's 2013. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, 2013 Money in the Bank, the year that Damien Sandow won, and he had his leather briefcase. So I went to that show. It was in Pennsylvania, and on the way back, as one does, it's late. You stop at the nearest rest stop to just pick up some snacks for the drive home. And this one time happened to be a Wawa. Go inside. As I'm walking up to the Wawa, I look at my buddy and I go, wow, look at this guy with all his crazy arm tattoos. This Roman Reigns looking guy here. And the closer that we get, I start to realize that this Roman Reigns looking guy is actually Roman Reigns in this Wawa. Standing next to Dean Ambrose, and they're just like in a Wawa. Yeah, they're just like in a Wawa buying snacks for the road, getting like a cup of coffee, and go in. Thank them for putting on a good show.
Oh, you were that guy?
Like, no, I wasn't like, hey, can I stop and take a picture? It was just like, hey, like as we walked by them, we were just like, hey guys, good show tonight. Thanks for doing what you do. And they were like, waved, said no problem, and that was it. Gotcha. So we're in the Wawa, they leave, and then after, I'm looking to I'm standing at the register, looking out the window, and out of the car that just pulled up walks in AJ Lee, Caitlyn, and Big E, because they used to ride together too, because they're all really tight and like good friends.
Yeah.
So then they come in. I don't even say anything to them because it was like a lot. I was like, okay, I'm not going to test my luck here. Just let them be. So my friend wanted to order a sandwich. We're standing in line. Damien Sandow comes right up behind us and is just online behind us.
And at that point, you're just sweating. You're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
So I just turn around and go, oh, congratulations on your win. And he immediately snaps into character, curtsies and goes, thank you.
That's awesome.
And we're just like, cool, that's it. We peaked. I'm getting in the car and I'm going home. I saw 7 wrestlers in a Wawa, or 6 wrestlers in a Wawa. It was nuts. Wawa. But yeah, that's my interesting meeting a wrestler in odd places story. And as always, guys, we want to propose that same question to you. Let us know on any and all forms of social media at GameMarksPod. Where have you met wrestlers outside of wrestling venues?
All right, Georgie. With that, what do you say we go rescue Stephanie McMahon?
I'm in. It's time for the deep dive. Are you looking to get a better grip on life? How about your video games? Well, VGF Gamers are the largest silicone gaming brand in the USA. They have a variety of different and unique skins for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One controllers and consoles. Check out their products at vgfgamers.com and use code GameMarks to receive 15% off your order at checkout. That's GAMEMARKS at checkout. VGF Gamers. Better grip, better style. All right. So, WWF Betrayal. Released August 7th, 2001. Developed by WayForward Technologies and published by THQ. General premise of this game is, I mean, it's like we've been dropping hints the whole time. You have to rescue Stephanie McMahon. She's been kidnapped. And then her father, Vince McMahon, promises to grant you, the player, a shot at the WWF Championship if they manage to save her. And
imagine that, like, oh my God, my daughter was just kidnapped. You can get a shot at the championship if you bring her back. Can't guarantee you'll win, but you can get a shot at it.
It's just, I mean, this whole game was just very different and not what I expected at all.
No. I don't remember seeing a commercial for this, an ad for this. I remember just seeing it and being like, what? What is this?
I didn't even know this game existed until we put it on the calendar.
Really?
Nope. I had no idea.
I never played it, but I did know it was out there. So how about this this here artwork?
I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. Covers fairly standard WWF logo. You have the name of the game. You have Rock and Triple H face to face with a silhouette in the background, an ominous silhouette.
I guess that's who stole her.
I guess. And then you have Stephanie McMahon faded into the background.
With the opacity turned down to 40?
Yeah, I would say, that's about 40. And you have that beautiful, wonderful, classic scratch WWF logo.
I thought you were going to say the classic Game Boy Color logo, because I absolutely hated the Game Boy Color logo. I get it. Those were the colors of the Game Boy Colors. I had the R color, the teal. But oof.
I gotta find mine. I have mine somewhere. Oh, crap. I had the same one.
The teal?
Yeah. R?
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, it was falling apart and it was held together by Pokemon stickers. So it's covered in those. I still
have mine.
Yeah.
I actually still have my big gray, like the original Game Boy.
Oh, yeah. What color Game Boy Advance did you have?
But I think I went black.
Okay, I had purple.
Like the smoke, like clear see-through black.
That's cool. Yeah, I had the purple one. Anyway, back cover, 2 screenshots of the game itself, the silhouette in the background, uncover the mystery and restore the championship. Only for Game Boy Color.
No need for Google Translate this week.
No.
Stephanie McMahon Helmsley has been kidnapped and Vince will give the championship to whoever can bring her back. Do you have what it takes to find Stephanie and secure the championship? Unfold the mystery of Stephanie McMahon's kidnapping. Overcome deadly enemies and obstacles. Deadly. Battle through 6 interactive levels and play as WWF's top superstars.
So maybe that's what bothers me about this game. There's only 6 levels.
But there's deadly enemies.
You could run through this entire story in 20 minutes if you want.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's about right.
Now you could only play as Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold, and The Undertaker. Now this is American Badass Undertaker. And
looks more like Mark Miro.
And obviously, Vince and Stephanie are in the game as non-playable characters. Now, like you said, Mark Miro. Let's get into these character models. Oh boy.
Why are their arms so long? That's my first question.
Their arms and their legs. And
also,
no one's wearing knee pads, and it's really bothering me.
What is Austin wearing?
I don't know.
Why?
Goldberg's 2004 tights? I don't know.
Why does The Rock have trunks? Triple H have trunks. And Austin is actually wearing the Triple H trunks. Like when he had those weird half legs.
The diaper trunks?
Yeah.
With his vest.
I don't understand.
Oh.
Oh, and then man. Rock's walking around with his Batista trunks and his sunglasses.
No knee pads, no elbow pads, so you can't even do the people's elbow.
I mean,
is it that hard to
in this game looks
put
like
in just like two black lines for knee pads?
I mean,
I feel like no knee pads just throws off the entire ensemble.
I mean, maybe that's give the Undertaker the rest of his hair. So,
okay, I think that's the worst one. Is the Undertaker? He 100%. Just looks like he belongs Hands at down. like a biker bar.
It just looks like Mark Miro.
Short hair, just a blue. I guess that's supposed to be the denim shirt.
Nope, it's marvelous Mark Miro.
The blue bandana is what makes him Mark Miro. Like, give him the red bandana or the black bandana. Give him long hair. My God, give him the trench coat for whatever.
That's what I needed. The duster. That's what makes the Undertaker.
Why is Triple H so blonde? He is bright yellow.
That makes sense. I mean,
that bothers me.
I mean, there's like a limited color palette for these Game Boy Color games.
No, he could easily have brown hair. Triple H is not blonde.
You're right. I mean, at least not in this era.
No, and then you go down to Vince. At least he's wearing like, I wouldn't even say this is like Vince's. This is his vintage outfit, not his like.
Yeah, this is commentary
outfit for
Vince.
The time. Yeah, commentary Vince outfit, and then you get to Stephanie. It's like, what the hell is that?
They just gave up for Stephanie.
Vince is like, hey, come help save my half-naked daughter in heels and a bra.
She looks like Dawn Marie.
She has no nose, and she's just got like purple lipstick. Like 2 dots for eyes. She looks like Elaine Bennis. That's what she looks like. That's Elaine hair.
Yes.
Man, and like we said, the deadly enemies. Come on.
Are referees in the first level, and then it just progressively gets like there's like a bar fight level, and then there's like an office space level. Like it's weird.
Yeah, the game screen. The game screen's your typical like arcade screen, like as if you were playing like Turtles in Time or Simpsons. You have your health bar with your lives above it, like ×5, with your little character icon. You have your score, and then you have your opponent's health on the right. So some of these guys take one shot and they're done. But some of them, like the security guards, you have to punch, kick, and then you hit your finisher really fast. So I played through as Triple H, and you kind of just kick and you give him like this quick pedigree. I didn't think that was that terrible. Did you play through it all?
Yeah, I played through. I went through as The Rock, and I went through as Taker. Rock's rock bottom just looks like he tripped someone.
Yeah.
Like he definitely hooks him for the rock bottom, but then it looks like he just gives him like an STO kind of thing.
This game reminds me a lot of the Batman game that was available on NES.
Yes. I know exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. It's like the Batman Return. They're not Batman Returns.
Just the old school Batman logo.
It's just regular Batman, yeah.
You got the Batarang or whatever, like the grapple gun. Not much to it, though. But
no.
Once you win, a screen comes up that literally just says congratulations with a silhouetted two-tone, duotone picture of the Winged Eagle newer version belt.
It's not bad.
It's not, but I mean...
It's a decent render for a Game Boy of a game. The side plates are a bit sad looking, but
congratulations. Here's a picture of a belt.
You know what it is.
It's like the King of the Ring game when they just showed you that Burger King crown.
I mean, it's better than A Winner Is You.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's not like 12 pixels just making up what looks like people.
I'd rather those sprites than these.
Okay. So go ahead.
All right. So why don't we run through the entire story?
All right. Let's break it down here. So you, the player, start the game as the World Heavyweight Champion. Congratulations. And during a regular title defense, you lose the belt. And, you know, there's a little bit of a hokey finish, and due to some outside interference, you lose. So you head backstage and try to get a piece of the people who wronged you, and that's where you learn that Mrs. Stephanie McMahon was kidnapped, John.
Oh, no. Who was it?
And to make it worse, the guys who took part in your loss are also the ones who kidnapped her.
Okay, so
what a rabbit hole we're going down right now.
So literally, The Rock, Stone Cold, and The Undertaker, who actually did once steal Stephanie, don't care about her because it's Vince's daughter, a top heel. So he has to bribe them with a title shot, not the title, a title shot to go find her.
Where's my title shot?
But if you play as Triple H, he actually has like different sayings. He says like, "Oh my God, my wife!" Like he has to go get her. Like it shows that he cares. So that is something cool that they programmed in. They were aware of who was playing.
Yeah, it's not just one generic storyline throughout the whole thing. So, like John said, Vince asked you to go save Stephanie, and this is where your journey begins. Now, like we said before, you battle through 6 stages, and your enemies have planned ahead, and they have put representatives from their horrible, dastardly organization at every corner just waiting to beat you up.
It's kind of like the Godfather game.
Yes.
You have to station guards at certain facilities.
So you go through each level and you beat pretty much anyone that stands in your way. And yeah, I mean, like we said, there's various different stages. You start in a backstage, you go to a nightclub-ish thing, there's an office, it just odd settings. Is that the word?
Yeah.
There's a rooftop battle at the end.
I think they tried. They really tried to make it kind of like that arcade Simpsons Turtles in Time type game. It just falls flat because the lack of characters, the game looks terrible. It's only side scroll, like Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I have to put it in, don't I?
Yep. I need you to give me that retro Smooth Criminal right now. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. It's been a while.
So not only are you flanked by guards and referees, but what I didn't realize at first was there's like steam coming out of the wall that if you walk in front of it, the steam just knocks you out. But
that's classic. That's like a Turtles in Time trope.
Yeah, but you can't jump.
Yeah, that's okay.
So what are you supposed to do? Just wait for it to end?
Yep. You win.
You're getting tased by a security guard, but you can't walk backwards because there's steam coming out.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
I take it back. The music when you fight the wrestlers is... We've mentioned my love for MIDIs and 8-bit versions of songs. These suck.
The music way down.
These are bad. These are very bad, and you should go out of your way to avoid them. And I know just by me saying that, you're going to listen to them.
Yep.
I warned you. And I will not listen to your hate tweets.
Yeah, no. First thing I usually do in games like this is just turn the volume down, because it's like Nacho Libre. After a while, you're just like, okay, I think we've heard enough.
Nacho!
Yeah, got you going. And the end result? It's a setup by Vince McMahon.
Oh my God.
Yeah, once you realize that, you climb through a ladder to go get him. You're in this little helicopter thing, a helicopter pad, and you fight to get your WWF championship.
Rooftop battle.
That's the game.
Time to play the game? Okay, never mind.
Time to put the game on eBay. How about that?
Ooh. Ready? Hey, John.
Hey, George.
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time to rate the game.
Is that a new thing?
Take us through the ratings and receptions, Johnny boy.
What's up, Game Marks Podcast? This is Danny Tancredi, and I'm here with my brother Johnny Tancredi, and together we are the Cult Looking Podcast. Each week we bring to you the latest news and reviews on all things baseball collectibles. From baseball cards and memorabilia to bobbleheads and stadium giveaways, each episode will discuss the newest products to hit the shelves of your local card store and your favorite ballparks around the country. Be sure to be following us on Instagram at the Cult Looking Podcast and on Twitter at CultLookingBB. New episodes drop every Friday, so be sure to tune in wherever great podcasts like this one are available. The Cult Looking Podcast. Don't get caught looking, start collecting.
All right. Little ratings and receptions. Game Rankings gives this game a 51% out of 100. All Game, a 2 out of 5 stars. Game Informer, 3 out of 10. GameSpot, 4.9 out of 10.
Just give it a 5.
IGN, 6 out of 10. That's generous. And Nintendo Power, a 3 out of 5. Now, the game was criticized for its gameplay due to the fact that each character has a limited moveset of punches, kicks, and only their finishing moves.
Which would to be expected.
Like I said, I wish you could jump.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really expect a ton from and I'm going to say this right, otherwise I'm going to get yelled at, from a portable game. It is a handheld console. If it's not like a top-down RPG style game, I never went in with high expectations. Games like Link's Awakening or Pokemon always did super well because this console lends itself to such a not basic or simple, because some of those games are actually like gorgeous, but like that style of top-down lends itself to that. And like when you start getting into these side-scrolling crazy things, like some of the Mario games that were on the Game Boy systems were really rough and hard around the edges, or really rough around the edges, but like sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. A portable game system like this has its challenges.
All right, but I gotta say, 2 buttons, and it's a punch and a kick, and then the combo is your finisher. I think if you just kept one of those as punch and kick, and it kind of does like a punch, kick, finisher combo, just from like the A button, and then B was jump, or vice versa, I think that could have been a little bit better. You can run if you double tap the arrow.
Or they do like A is punch, B is kick. You hit both, you jump, and then select is your finisher?
I don't know. Select's a little odd. But anyway, this game is also criticized for its lack of creative enemies consisting of referees, backstage staff, and the other main characters the player did not choose as bosses.
I mean, like I said, it's a Game Boy Color game. I don't go inspecting a lot.
Yeah, it's not like there's the Foot Clan or like the Putty Patrol. Instead, we got referees. Earl Hebner's sliding in to ring the bell.
Referees is the only thing that doesn't make sense to me.
As soon as the sharpshooters applied ringing the bell.
I don't understand the referees. Also, why are there so many referees?
There's so many.
Like, it's like, okay, we have the full...
How about we take some of those for an indie show so one guy or 2 guys don't have to do the whole thing?
Yeah, Jesus.
Anyway,
all right, John.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, it is now that time where we play the fast music, because it is time for the fast facts. The game's plot was roughly based on a storyline in 1999 where Stephanie McMahon gets kidnapped and saved by Stone Cold Steve Austin from the grasp of The Undertaker and the Ministry.
Ooh, WWF Betrayal was the third and last WWF game released to the Game Boy Color. The others were WWF Attitude and WrestleMania 2000.
And that's the fast facts.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got.
That's it.
There's not much going on here with this game. Hope we painted the picture for you of what it was. If you didn't have it, or if you were like George, where you didn't know it existed, because I don't think many people did. Again, I'm sure you could find this online to play if you don't feel like buying it, and you could run through it very easily, or if you want to bore yourself, you could find it on YouTube and watch a run through.
If you wanted to buy WWF Betrayal for the Game Boy Color, you can find it on eBay for as low as $12. I'm actually seeing even some $11.
Whoa.
So, if you do have a Game Boy Color that is still working, and you would like to add this game to your collection, know that you don't have to break the bank, and that's always a good find when you're building a collection.
Well, will you be adding this to your collection permanently?
You never know.
I'm not.
You never know. Now, unfortunately, being that this is only a single player campaign, we were not able to do a Clash at the Feast this week. So now, it is the part where we offer up our ratings, John. WWF Betrayal for the Game Boy Color. Will you play it forever? Woo! Or future endeavor?
You're fired!
Would you like to do a countdown?
Yeah, I think it countdown.
Okay.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Future endeavor.
You're fired!
Yeah. Conceptually, I will say this. The concept of this could be amazing. I really like the idea of a Turtles in Time style wrestling game, and I think it could be done, and it could be done well. I don't think it allows itself to be done on a Game Boy Color in the year 1997, or whenever the hell this game came out. I don't think that it allows itself to be done on the Game Boy Color and in 2001, but the idea is interesting.
Speaking of 2001, another game that came out from THQ, WWF 2001, was With Authority. Are you familiar with that?
I've heard of it. I did not play it, though. Is that the card game?
Yes. I would almost want to say that it's like e-fetting a little bit. In a way. Like the way the results are and stuff. But I cannot wait to go through this, because this is also a game my computer couldn't handle in 2001.
Well, John, why don't you let everybody know what we're playing next week?
Ooh, next week on the podcast, we are playing WCW Wrestling for the NES. And I want to put this out there right now. WCW Worldwide, if you're listening, if you want to give us a call on the old Skype machine, we would love to have you for this one.
Oh, absolutely.
Let us know.
And with that said, that's going to do it for us this week on the Game Marks podcast. Please check out our Pro Wrestling Tees store at prowrestlingtees.com/GameMarksPod. It is currently the best way besides listening to support the podcast, and be sure to follow us on all forms of social media at GameMarksPod. Leave us a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts, and subscribe to this podcast wherever great podcasts can be found. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a wild, wild world. Stay safe.
Please
wash your hands. Wash your damn hands.
Turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page, you wash your hands.
Rocco's Modern Life. Filbert teaches us, turn the page, wash your hands. That's it. Thanks for hanging out with us this week, guys. We'll see you next week for WCW Wrestling. Say goodbye, Johnny.
Game over, Mark.